Pagsasapinal ng Standard Operating Procedure sa tuluyang pagpapatupad ng POGO ban sa bansa, ating tatalakayin kasama si Police Lieutenant Colonel Michelle Olaivar, Media Affairs Relation Officer ng Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission. Colonel Olaivar, magandang tanghali po at welcome sa Bagong Pilipinas ngayon.
Ma'am Cheryl, magandang tanghali po at sa kay Sir Josh, magandang tanghali po sa inyo at sa lahat po ng nanonood ng programa.
Ma'am, ano po ang kahalagahan ng bagong nilagdaang Interagency Standard Operating Procedures sa tuluyang pagpapatupad ng POGO ban sa bansa?
Ma'am Cheryl, ang bagong nilagdaang Interagency Standard Operating Procedure po ay critical sa patuloy na pagpapatupad ng POGO ban dahil establish po nito ang isang harmonized, coordinated at legally compliant framework para ho sa bawat yugto ng ating operasyon. Yung SOP ho, it ensures na yung lahat ho ng law enforcement, regulatory and investigative agencies po is working together under a single protocol para ho maiwasan ho natin yung confusion ho dala ng uncoordinated efforts po. And then the SOP ho ay meron ho siyang step-by-step procedural guide na kino-cover na ho nito from intelligence gathering to case build-up, yung operation ho and then evidence handling hanggang ho dun sa prosecution na ho ng kaso ho natin. And also, nakalagay sa SOP natin, Ma'am She, na nakamandate ho dito that all enforcement action must comply ho with the rule of law and due process. And lastly ho, sa matandaan ko po, ang SOP po clearly defined yung roles ho ng bawat agencies, participating agencies. So gaya ho ng Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission as a principal coordinator po. So preventing overlaps and yung ensuring accountability.
Alright, Colonel, paano naman po masisiguro ng interagency SOP na ito na hindi na makakabalik o magre-rebrand lang yung mga illegal POGO operations sa ibang anyo?
Sir Josh, yung Interagency Standard Operating Procedure ho, specifically addresses ho yung rebranding and yung resurgence nga po. Kasi ho, number one ho, yung SOP mandates that operation no, hindi ho magtatapos lang doon sa raid. Meron ho siyang post-action assessment na dapat ho gawin. By doing so ho, nakaka-identify tayo ng bagong intelligence gaps and mga lesson learned. And also ho, yung tinatawag natin na feedback loops, no? Yung mga findings ho namin dun sa mga nakompleto na ho na operation, ibabalik po natin ho ulit ito doon ho sa intelligence cycle na tinatawag natin to make sure that law enforcement remains adaptive po dun sa evolving criminal methodology such as nga po rebranding under new business names or yung in industries. And then ho, may tinatawag tayong high value target focus. So we are dismantling the leadership and the infrastructure rather than yung mga physical storefront. Tapos andyan din po yung Securities and Exchange Commission natin. They are providing yung corporate and financial intelligence, including ho yung beneficial ownership information para po yung ating mga illegal operators ho ay hindi ho magtago behind mga dami corporation. Then we also have nakapaloob ho sa SOP yung visitorial and inspection powers ng mga administrative and regulatory agencies. So para maaga pa lang ho kumbaga ma-establish na ho no kung ano ho ba itong mga kung meron ho kami pinagdududahan na kumpanya bago pa ho sila maka-fully establish mahinto na rin ho natin. And yung other agencies ho, meron ho silang record checks and background investigations ho to ensure that wala nga hong rebranded na mga POGO entities.
Bilang lead agency, ma'am, ano po ang magiging pangunahing papel ng PAOK sa pagpapatupad ng Unified Action Plan laban sa illegal POGOs at iba pang kaugnay na krimen?
As the lead agency po, the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission serves as the principal support. Yan po yung nakapaloob dun sa SOP, principal support and coordinating agency po responsible for the effective implementation po ng Unified Action Plan. So based ho dun sa SOP, yung main role ho ng PAO, nabanggit ko na po ito, principal coordination, responsable po kami dun sa interagency collaboration at yung aligning ho ng effort ng lahat ng participating agencies. And also ho yung intelligence management kasi we also act as the central hub po for intelligence where all participating agencies are required to share po ng kanilang relevant information. And we also facilitate po yung collaboration needed for intelligence gathering. Also po, si PAOK is in charge po sa case build-up leadership kasi PAOK siya ho yung mag-a-assign ng reference numbers to referrals and yung mag-request ho ng mga case conferences with the DOJ, particularly with the National Prosecution Service. And also ho, PAOK serves as the lead coordinating body po for all law enforcement operations. That includes yung raid, search, and seizure. And lastly ho, we have the authority to enlist yung assistance ho ng mga specialized officers pagka kailangan po.
Alright. Colonel, nabanggit po sa ulat na magkakaroon daw po ng mas maagang involvement ng prosecutor sa case build-up. Paano po nito mapapataas yung posibilidad ng conviction laban sa mga illegal operators?
Tama po, Sir Josh, no? Sa pamamagitan po ng SOP, yung pong nabanggit po ninyo na agency, ang mangyayari ho is from isolated efforts or yung effort lang po ng agency, ang gagawin ho is lilipat po tayo into a unified task group approach focusing on establishing a strong legal case before pa ho mangyari yung operation po. So, when a case requires po expertise po ng mga agencies, yung PAOK po pwedeng mag-organize ng task group to compose po, for example, the DOJ prosecutor, yung mga law enforcement officers natin, representative from other agencies, and sila ho mismo yung magde-develop po ng written plan which identifies yung kung meron hong mga gaps doon sa, let's say, evidence gaps or magsiset ho ng mga specific strategies.
Pagdating naman po sa POGO assets, ano po ang plano ng pamahalaan sa pamamahala at paggamit ng mga ito, lalo na sa mga malalaking scam hubs o di kaya po gusali?
The SOP ho covers yung entire cycle po ng operation. Specifically, kasama ho dito yung asset management as a final phase po ng enforcement. So, yung government ho follows yung legally mandated process ho, gaya ng asset preservation, seizures, and yung forfeiture po. And yung may tinatawag ho tayong forceful use of yung forfeited assets po. So, yung SOP ho, nakalagay ho doon na i-integrate po natin ito with Republic Act 12312. So, nakalagay ho kasi doon yung mga legal basis ho on how the government can ultimately dispose ho or repurpose yung mga assets po natin. Yung key priority po dito sa management of cases is yung victim compensation ho. So, the government, under the SOP, intends to use the proceeds or yung mga resources po na mag-gather natin from the operation to support and protect yung ating mga victims ng trafficking or other crimes na ma-discover ho natin.
Alright. Colonel, sa usapin naman po ng mga biktima, paano po tinitiyak na niligdaang SOP na ito na mabibigyan sila ng sapat na proteksyon, tulong, at hindi po sila mapaparusahan bilang bahagi ng trafficking?
Opo. Yung SOP po, Sir Josh, naglalagay ho ng mataas na prioridad sa proteksyon ng mga biktima. Tinitiyak na sila ay tuturing bilang mga individual na nangangailangan ng pagliligtas sa halip na po ay ituring sila na kriminal. Kasi po sa SOP ho nakalagay ho doon yung prompt identification po. No, prompt identification and protection ho ng mga victims of trafficking in person and other vulnerable persons during and after po ng enforcement action. And also ho, kasama ho sa agencies ho dito is yung IACAT ho to ensure that yung expert in victim protection ho are involved ho sa simula pa lang ho ng operation. And also, nakamandate ho sa SOP all investigative and operational activities. So, dapat compliant ho tayo sa applicable laws, yung human rights standards, and due process.
Sa inyong pananaw, paano po mababago ng mas mahigpit na pagpapatupad ng POGO ban ang peace and order situation sa bansa? At ano po ang nakikita ninyong epekto nito na mararamdaman ng ating mga kababayan?
Yung stricter implementation, Ma'am Shea, will really change the peace and order landscape by shifting from temporary disruptions po na operation to permanent dismantling of criminal networks. For example, yung neutralizing associated crimes. So yung ban doesn't only target yung gambling per se, but it strikes at the associated criminal activities. And then yung impact the primary impact as I see it is the citizen is the restoration of a safety and the rule of law the rule of law sa communities po. Kasi ang SOP ang major focus ng SOP again is yung prompt identification and protection of a victim. So for citizen this means a government that yung actively rescues and assists yung mga exploited ng syndicate rather than tinitreat po natin sila na criminal. Also, yung SOP mandate na yung all action follows human rights standards. So, para po sa citizen, this reinforces trust in the government, showing that kahit yung aggressive law enforcement action is conducted within the bounds of law, transparent, and with judicial oversight po siya.
Alright, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras at sa mga impormasyong inyong ibinahagi sa amin. Police Lieutenant Colonel Michelle Olaivar, Media Affairs Relation Officer ng PAO.